Hello folks, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. I hope you're having a really great Sunday. I'm here for the first time in 3 weeks. I've had a really bad back and I apologise for that. My back is now doing much better, so I'm able to stream. So I hope everyone's doing well today. I can see Anarchy got first today, so thank you very much for that, my dude. He says, good evening, Jay. Looking forward to the build. Wish I had known about the group buy when it was available. Yeah, so this was a... Well, we'll talk about it in a bit, but you can see the Desmat in the little image up there. This was a group buy quite a while ago, and BitShifter here in the UK was kind enough to proxy this for me, which was really nice of him. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Okay, we've also got Dematax here as well. He says, hey Jay, hey man, good to see you. Thank you very much for being here. Got 2 builds to do on stream actually, which reminds me, I do need to update the build command because we're actually doing 2 things. So I better update this just before anyone uses the build command. There we go. That's all updated. So if you do the build command, you'll see the second thing that we're going to build today after the first build is done. Okay, so it feels weird to be streaming again, I have to be honest. I'd kind of got into a routine of not streaming, and I have some lumbar support down here that you guys can't really see. So what happened is I slipped a disc in my spine, and that left me in absolute agony for about 5 days. After that, I was slowly able to start picking up and doing things, but still not 100%. Like, if I hold something heavy out at arm's length, I start to feel it pulling my back. It's not good. I'm in pain, but we're getting there. Some strong painkillers is doing the job. It's helping, and it's making sure that I'm in a fit enough state to actually do some work, and also in a fit enough state to actually do some streaming as well, more importantly. Big shout out to Matt the Pokemon Kid as well for sending me some beers. Today I'm drinking beer, not coffee, because it's too warm. It's 36 degrees Celsius in this room right now. It's far too hot, so I've got a cold beer. And today we're drinking this. I was going to drink this on the Top Clack stream the other day, but you guys voted not to. So this is what we're drinking. This is a salted caramel chocolate stout. Now this would be ideal in the winter, but we're drinking it today in the middle of summer. It's nice and chilled. It's been in the fridge over the weekend, and I have to be honest, it's bloody delicious. It is so good. It's so good. When they say chocolatey, you normally don't get a chocolate stout that tastes like chocolate. This does. It tastes like you're drinking liquid chocolate. It's kind of bizarre, and totally delicious. So there we go. Yeah, that's drink number 1 today. We're gonna take our time with it. I have to drive afterwards, so I can only have one, but yeah. It's looking good. Stosness is here as well. He says a rare Pepe. Yeah, I apologize. I have been away. I am a rare Pepe at the minute because I haven't been streaming for a little while my back's recovered. I haven't been able to sit down at a desk or stand up in the same position for more than about 15 minutes for over 2 weeks now. The past couple of days that slowly got better and better and better, and now I'm feeling good enough to be able to stream. So I streamed on Friday night with Brian on Topclack, and now here I am ready to do a build stream for you guys today. Yeah, the beer is delicious, Anarchy. It's absolutely stunning beer. It's really good. I've not heard of the small batch brewery before in Sussex, but I thoroughly recommend them off of just 2 mouthfuls. Like, this is a really good beer. I can imagine that I'd really enjoy this in the winter time as well. So, yeah, not sponsored, but check it out. It's good. I'm not expecting too many people to be viewing today, given the fact that I haven't streamed for about a month, so we'll see how it goes. But yeah, I'm excited to share this with you today. So let's talk about the group buy that went on for this particular keyboard and keycap set and desk mat set. So as you can see in the top image just up here, this is the desk mat that came with the set, and it was based on the Tianwen-1, the Mars rover launched by China. So there's a whole range of imagery on the desk mat, which you'll see up close shortly, around satellites, rockets, landers, all sorts of things, rovers on Mars. And it was officially sponsored as well by the Chinese government. So this is something that's been 100% officially sponsored by the Chinese government. It's not just someone doing something off the back of them. It's got all of this kind of push behind it, which is really, really cool. And yeah, it's the Chinese Mars mission. So the desk mat came out great. As you can see, it's on my desk. Let's flip over to the other camera and you guys can see it a little bit better. So, I say you can see it a little bit better. You can't actually. Maybe, well, you can see some of the details. So this side here, you guys can see that we have all of the details of the Mars rover. So it's got the whole lander thing. Wait, what? Go away. I've got something popping up on my screen. I don't want that. There we go. So you can see here it's got all of the details of the lander, the launch craft. Here's the little rover. There's it landing and parachuting down onto Mars. This is supposed to be analogous of Mars, and then you've got kind of like satellites and all sorts of stuff doing things. It's pretty cool. Over this side, just behind the text, there is some details around it. So it says Tianwen CMSA, which is the Chinese space agency, and yeah, some details of the mission, which is based in 2020. As well as that, it had a really cool key set that came with it. So this is, as I say, this is all completely sponsored by China and by the Chinese Space Agency. Mandazakai, thank you so much for following. Designed by Bugo, who does a load of work with JTK, so this is a JTK set, but it's sponsored by Sci-Fi as well. On the base, it's got all of the details around this. I can't read it because it's in Chinese, but it says Planetary Exploration of China, China-Mars Exploration, and all sorts of other things on here as well. So it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. All official with the holographic logos and everything else. Ethereal, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Which is really cool. So let me show you the keycaps. Comes in a JTK Max tray. It's got a little bit messed up, but they always do. And here you go, you can see the keycap set. It's very reminiscent of a bit of a cross between Carbon and Honeywell, but there are some triple shot keycaps in here, notably here, and these cool novelties just at the top. How cool are they, with the little rover, the little lander, the satellite, the CMSA 2020 logo. And it's also got a ton of compatibility, so it's also got all of the standard keys you'd expect for compatibility with ISO and everything else, including full UK ISO, which I was incredibly happy about. So it has 3 layers in here, full UK ISO included. It's pretty cool, We'll talk about the quality of the keycaps when we put them on the board, but the fact that it comes in a nice JTK Max tray is pretty cool, and in this special limited edition box as well. It's really nice. It's looking really good. It's slightly more enhanced than a standard JTK base support Zakuya. There's actually a few different bits in there as well. But good afternoon as well, because I see you say hello. Sampo says cool desk mat. Yeah, the desk mat's awesome. Like, this is really cool. It's really thick as well. It's about 5mm thick, so it's thicker than all of the usual ones that you see in group buys and whatever else. And it's got this rough texture to it. It's really, really nice. It's genuinely a lovely product, and it comes with the matching keycaps. As well as that, there was also a third part to the puzzle, which was the fully branded BBox60. Which was also branded Tianwen1. I have taken the slip off that comes off this already, but yeah, that's over there on the floor. But that's covered in logos like this. But this is basically a kit that you put together. And if you guys remember putting aircraft together, airfix models together when you were a kid, or maybe even as an adult, because why not? This is exactly what it is. It comes with everything like an airfix kit. All the sprues and everything are there. You pop all of the different parts out, or you cut them out, and away you go. You build your keyboard. How cool is that? You can see the side parts of it here as well. As well as that, it also comes with an IKEA style instruction booklet, which is really cool. So we'll be following this as well. And the final thing it comes with is all of the branded stickers, so you can brand it with the whole name of the Mars mission, the Tianwen1, everything else. So we're putting these on as well and trying to make it look pretty cool when we're done. So that's pretty cool, right? That's really, really cool. Keywork, good evening, Boo. Thank you very much for being here. Humza says ISO gang. Absolutely, ISO gang, yes. Good Guy says random question, but will Hazakura be going to pre-order? Not decided yet. It really depends on people demanding things to go into pre-order, and it also depends on how many extras I've bought. If I've bought a significant amount of extras, I can afford to put some of them into pre-order, and I can have some remaining as extras later on down the line. Hazakura is yet to be decided where it's going to sit in that scale at the moment, so I can't promise it will. It might do, but I can't promise it. But I can promise always that there will be extras, because we don't run group buys here at Prototypist without buying extras. There are always extras of everything going forward. The only one group buy that we didn't have extras for was Cat Drifter, and that was due to an EU sales limit as well. There was only 50 sets allowed for the EU, and they all sold in the group buy. So that was the only thing we've never done extras for. Everything else will have extras guaranteed. It's just a case of how many and how quick they sell out. Pre-orders are very difficult to judge, so I only tend to do them for the really popular stuff, whether that be popular in group buy or popular in terms of demand as well. So yeah, we'll see. No promises either way. Excusel, thank you so much for the follow, man. I really appreciate that. Thank you, guys. Thank you for all the follows today. Minkster8 as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Keywork says, evening, Boo. Hey, man. We're going to be building Keywork's Macropad later on for him. He sent me a little Macropad to desolder, and I'm not allowed to talk about how bad the soldering job was on that, but it is desoldered, and we will be rebuilding it for him. Gio says, I really want that, but can't have light desk mats because of black cats. Your cats are cool. I'm pretty comfortable that you'll be happy not having the desk mat and keeping the cats, Gio. I'm pretty sure that'll be okay. Okay, so as well as doing that, we are going to be building this with a Doddle60 PCB. So this is a PCB that was designed in conjunction with myself and the wonderful Gondolindrum about 18 months ago. So we're going to be using this. This is my last one of these PCBs. It's maybe a little bit too flexible for this build, although it does have a tray mount solution, so it should be okay. There you go. This is the pre-alpha version. It's going to zoom in there. Pre-alpha version designed by Gondolindrum. And it's even got my name on it as well. I want a more J name. There we go. That's the Doddle60. We're going to be using that today for the build. We're also going to be using stabilizers made by Duroc, and these are the Mechanisk Ultramarine stabilizers, just because it's what I have lying around. In terms of switches, we're going to be using the Lilac linear switches. We've got those all lubed up just before Christmas by Matt the Pokemon Kid, who incidentally was the guy who sent me the beer as well. And I literally just made this on the laser cutter whilst I was prepping for the stream. We're going to be using a POM plate today because I didn't have a carbon fiber one. The order's still waiting to arrive at the moment. And I didn't have an aluminium one that offered the layout that I wanted. So I just made one really, really quickly on the laser cutter. And here we have a standard Tray 60. This is an ISO variant, and it should work just fine for this build. So that's what we're going to be building today. Once that's done, I do have this wonderful little macro pad that we're going to build. And as I say, this is for Keywalk himself, so this is really cute. Oh, dropping the screws. Whoops. There we go. I've got them. I've saved them. So this is what we're going to be building. It's in this lovely grey colour, and it's this little Treasure Macropad. I actually wanted one of these, and I missed the group by years and years and years ago. And Keywalk has one just here, so I'm going to be building this for him shortly. The only thing I change about this is the size of these bump-ons. They're huge. I put smaller bump-ons on it, but other than that, this is really, really cool. So yeah, so we'll be building that later on for Keywalk as well. So nice little PCB. I'm not going to tell you about the switches just yet. I'll surprise him with what the switches are going to be later on, but I have counted those out nice and neatly, and they're already pre-lubed as well. Okay, let's catch up with chat. Where are we going? Where are we going? Good Guy Entity says, do you think Striker will still be there at the end of July? For pre-order, probably not. The way it's been selling out in pre-order, I don't expect it to be there past the end of, probably the end of next week. I think that's when the pre-orders will stop for that. And then after that, it will be available in stock when the group buy is shipped. So that's going to be some time away. Trinity1 says, will this set be available in your store? No, this won't be available in my store. This is just a set that I bought as part of a group buy a long time ago. It was only sold directly through JTK, as far as I understand it, through Booger himself. He sold it through his Discord server, and BitShifter, a good friend of mine here in the UK, was all involved in that and arranged for proxying it to the UK for a few people. Ethereal says, hi, I'm new to mechanical keyboards and interested in the BBox60. Well, this is your lucky day. We're going to be building one on stream. This is the first one I've built personally on stream, but I have sold a few in the past, and I do have some for sale on the website now. They're not in stock. It is a group buy, but you can pick up a Cown Little Dragon version in the group buy right now as well. Really, really cheap, but pretty cool and pretty fun to put together. Mingster8 says, hi Jay, do you do client builds as well, just out of interest? Yes, I do. Everything is fully backed up by a guarantee through my company Prototypist. If you want to email me at j@prototypist.net and let me know the details of your build, we'll see if we can accommodate it. Sometimes we build on stream, sometimes we just build in the workshop. It's a flat fee. I don't lube anymore. I don't have time to lube switches, unfortunately, anymore, but I can point you in the direction of a couple of good lube services depending on where you are in the world. But I'm happy to build your keyboard for you, absolutely. Keywalk says, in your honest opinion, how bad was the solder job on a scale of 1 to 10? Okay, so Keywalk sent me this little macro pad to build for him, and I'm going to show you the bottom of the, well, I'll show you the top of the PCB. The top of the PCB looks nice and clean. The bottom of the PCB, it's desoldered, but the soldering wasn't great in the first place, so it's not the best. But it wasn't terrible. It was like a 4 out of 10. It wasn't the worst soldering I'd seen. Like, it was functional. What was really interesting though is the fact that when he put the switches into here, he'd used box switches, and he actually had at the bottom of the switches, so this is where the pin's going for a switch, for example. At the bottom of the switch, just here and here, he'd put small amounts of blue tack to hold the switches in place, which I found really, really hilarious. I've taken that off, I've cleaned it up, I've given it a good wipe down with some isopropyl. We'll build it properly this time. We'll get it sorted for you. We're on this, Maxie. We're on this. Don't worry. I got you. I got you, boo. Zakir says, did I miss the link to the map caps, or are they not sold? Not being sold yet. So this was a group buy. It's not something I'm selling. It's not one of my products. It's just something I personally bought and wanted, and it was all sold through Boogerwork, who works exclusively with JTK. So this is a historic group buy, not something I'll be running, not something I'll be selling, just something I wanted for my personal collection. Hamza says the flex cuts. Ooh. Was GMK Who High delayed further? Soon, very soon. Demotex says in stock Doddle60 when? Very, very soon, I think. I need to reach out to Gondo and sort something out, but I'd like to have a couple of hundred of them in stock just in the workshop. Not least because I often need 60% PCBs. Nordhell says, hey Jay, how's your Sunday been? Sunday's been okay. I managed to do a little bit of DIY at home today. I actually managed to fit a shower door. For those that you don't know, I put my back out and injured my back doing the bathroom. So we're fixing up the ensuite, and at the same time we're doing a small amount of renovation to the master bathroom of the house. So we have 5 bathrooms, and one of them we ripped the shower out about 2 years ago, and we just completely got rid of the shower in there and turned it more into like a toilet area, and it was too small to have a shower in it really, so it's very much just an extended toilet, and we use that to store a lot of our laundry and stuff as well. One is downstairs, just has a toilet. The other three all have showers in them, but they're all in different states of getting to where they should be. So our ensuite bathroom, we ripped that out a few weeks ago. There is no bathroom in there at all at the moment. The floor's up, everything, relaying new pipes, and that was when I put my back out. So that is on pause until I'm a little bit better. The master bathroom, which is the one that we're using at the moment, we had a shower curtain, and today I fit a glass shower door because it's just a little bit better. So yeah, so that's all the thing. And then the final bathroom is waiting for the bath to be replaced. That has a bathtub in it as well. The shower's like in the tub, and I dropped something heavy in there when I was doing something else, and I cracked the tub, so I need to replace the tub. So all of our bathrooms, despite how many we've got, are kind of all in like a state of repair at the moment. It's kind of frustrating, especially because I can't fix any of it with my back, but we did a little bit today, which was good. It felt productive, it felt good. Trade Splatter says, what's the preferred way to contact you for business inquiries? Discord, email, something else? Pretty much email. Discord I lose. I get so many messages by Discord, it's really hard to keep up with them. Every night I go to bed, I try and clear all my Discord messages down. Every morning I wake up, it's in the triple figures. If you really need to get hold of me and you want to guarantee a response, email me j@prototypist.net, j@prototypist.net, and I'll get back to you within 3 working days. That's the current SLA. Yeah, and it means I don't lose Discord messages that way. Ethereal says, cool, yeah, I'm actually interested in that one, the Cam Little Dragon one. We'll look into it. Awesome. Well, you'll see when we get to it. Do you have any tips when it comes to soldering? Is it possible to do it as a beginner? Absolutely. I will show you how I solder. And I started off as a beginner. I started soldering keyboards 4 or 5 years ago. Anyone can do it. If I can do it, anyone can do it. Box switches don't have the holding pin, so I had to blue tack that to stop them rotating. Dude, there are better ways to do it than that. You solder one pin, and then you align the pin whilst you're heating it up after you've soldered it, and you get it fine. You don't need blue tack. I'll show you how to do it later. I'll show you how to do it. Imagine says, Jay, are you looking forward to your FE CMO TKL? Yeah, so this is a TKL that I've bought in Group Buy. I'm really looking forward to it coming. It's in a material called ALBC3, which is basically a cast bronze. It's like an aluminium bronze alloy. It's incredibly tough, it's incredibly heavy, and it should be a little bit different to the copper and brass that we see in most keyboards. So I'm pretty excited for it. I'm waiting for the, I think I bought some of the extras with it as well, like a little tray and a few other bits and pieces. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that turn up. Also, those box switches are the dyed custom ones that I did for my white Kira 60. In that case, I probably need to get them out of the bin. I didn't realize there were those ones. Powder room, that's a great name for it, Geo. That's a great name for it, Geo. Absolutely. Frost says, what's up, my man? Hey man, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Iwade says, good evening, Jay. Good evening, good sir. Thank you very much for being here as well. Tradespot says, email it then. Thank you, sir. No problem, no problem. Thank you again to Frost Zunet for the follows. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, time to crack on with the build, because we've got 2 builds to do today. I know one's small, but hey, we've got 2 builds to do. That is so good. It's so good. Okay. So we don't need the keycaps for now, so I'm just going to put these to one side. Time to take the board out and have a look at how this goes together. So the first thing I'm going to do is just have a look and show you guys the assembly guide, because I just need to work out how it all clips together, and then when we put the PCB and the plate in. So, nice and simple. Let me hold this up a little bit higher so you guys can see it. Nice and simple. We've got a base tray. We've got a rear section. We then attach the front section. It all just clips together. Then we've got 2 sides that just clip together. And then we've got a USB port that clips in the back. Then we've got a little stand that we build, which all just clips together. Looks nice and simple. And then we screw the case, then we screw the PCB and plate assembly into the case. Okay, let's put the case together and see if we can take a look at how this looks. Let's get all the sections out and let's split these off of their respective pads first of all. Jeanette says, I forgot to say hello, my bad. Don't worry, that's alright. I don't mind if people want to watch and not say anything. It's just as long as you're here, that means the world to me. So thank you very much for being here, guys. Thank you. Just gonna use my flush cutters to open these bags. I love seeing matchy stuff. Nice. Yeah, matchy stuff's good. Keybox says, Alicia called me a state for using blue tack and just choked on my food. I just choked on my food with the last message. Sorry, man. Sorry. I don't believe you're not realizing the custom work is subtle, but put them next to stock box back and see right away. I was more interested in just getting it desoldered. Okay, so the good news here is the first part has already detached itself. So this would have been attached onto here, and they've all already come off. I'm just going to check all of these little light marks here. This is where they detached. Just make sure there's no raised parts that we need to get in with the flush cutter. They all feel pretty flush. Great. So we now have a base piece. As you can see as well, one of the cool things is that this base piece has threaded inserts. Can you see the shiny bits in those holes? Those are brass knurled threaded inserts, which means that when we screw something in, it's not just going to round off in the plastic, it's actually going to hold together. And all of this stuff here, this stuff that you see here, this adds rigidity to it. So this makes it a little bit less flexible, a little bit more rigid. Now it still is quite flexible, but that just adds some rigidity to it, which is good. Okay. Let's take all the bits apart first. Gundam and keeps. Dude, I still have that Gundam that I need to build. I will get to it at some point. I will get to it. Kimchi Jody Boy. Hey man, good to see you. He says, hello Mr. J. Quick thing, I think the gain on your mic is a bit too high. The gain on my mic? The gain on my mic is too high? Too high? Do you mean too low? Because it's in the negatives. Let me have a look. I don't think it's the gain. I think it's just the volume that's down. Pudsy's here as well. Pudsy, man, dude, we have not spoken in so long. I'm so happy to see you, dude. Pudsy, how are you doing? Pudsy, how are you doing, man? Let me know how you're doing. Like, it must be literally more than a year since we last spoke, so I hope you're doing well. Barely peaking at normal. Peaking volume. I think that's just because I've got the volume turned down and I'm not speaking too loud. As Pudsy says, yes, it also keeps things from warping in the molds. That's very true. So when you let me take a piece out and I'll show you guys what he means. So these pieces are all in one mold. So there's basically two halves to a mold. They'll have a bottom half and a top half. They'll put them together and then they'll basically pump molten plastic in. And the plastic comes in through these channels and then fills in the parts as well. So this is why you have all of this material around the outside. Now the reason why, as Putty said, to put these parts in here that you can see there is to stop parts warping as well. If they didn't have those there, the part would be more flexible and it'd be more susceptible to warping as it cooled. So as molten plastic cools, it can curl up on the edges. If you guys have ever made pancakes and you've overheated them in the pan, sometimes you'll see them curl up at the edges when they get a little bit too well done. Same thing happens with plastics as they cool. So, yeah. Jampot's here as well. He says, a good evening to Pudsy. It's fine. It's fine. Kimchi Jodo, but it'll do. It'll do. Maybe one day you should come round and set my audio up for me. That's prize-winning writer, Pudsy, to you. Pudsy, what did you win an award for writing? I wasn't aware of this. What award have you won? Man, this takes me back to building Airfix models. This was recently. I apologize if I've not kept up with it. If you say it'll give it away. Well, isn't that the point? I'm asking you. Okay, so you can see here we've snapped off one of the sprues and we've got a little bit of a mark that's left over. We're just going to use flush cutters just to trim this down nicely and make sure that it's all nice and smooth. And there you go, you can see that's all now been removed. Oh, you mean it'll give away who you are? I think I see what you mean. I think I see what you mean. Yeah, I get that. Well, congratulations either way. I didn't know you were a journalist, but now that I do, congratulations on winning your award. There we go. Everyone send Pudsy congratulations in chat. Snap together. Yeah. Sometimes people ask me how I feel about being known in real life as well, Pudsey, but honestly, like, it doesn't bother me. Perhaps that's just the boomer in me, not really caring about secrecy and stuff like that. I don't know. But I understand and appreciate that everyone's different on that, and people have a right to respect their privacy. Also, when you're a business owner, it's difficult to not be known what your real title, details, and things are. It's very hard to keep that kind of thing private. People have a tendency to beat up journalists. Is that still a thing? Like, I mean, I appreciate that it's happened in the past, but like, I guess it depends on what type of journalist you are. Uncool Dude says, I've always wanted one of these BBox kits, but never seen to see any until well after they're gone. Looks like a super cool project. Yeah, I mean, they are pretty cool. This is the first one I've ever had the privilege of having in my hands. I've seen quite a few people build them, but I've never actually built one myself. This is the only one that I owned. More like Pulitzer. Haha, funny. I get that. No, Max feelings. I get it. Okay, just tidying up these sprue marks as we go. Jump says, I made a mistake passing on this. Yeah, I mean, I was kind of interested to see how this went. I wasn't sure if it was going to be good or not. Honestly, I think the keycap set came out really nice, considering it's JTK and all of that kind of stuff. I'm actually quite a big fan of them. I like the fact that they're doing triple shot stuff, and there are some triple shot caps in the set. Yeah, I think this is just a really good price. Like, I think this was $120 all in for the desk mat, the keycaps, and the BBox60. I think it was something like $120, which is unbelievable value. Bend these ones a little bit because they're a little bit thicker. Yeah, the Chinese government did subsidize it. You're 100% correct. This was all official. This isn't like just a fan set. This is actually an official Chinese government agreed keycap set. And approved and sponsored, whatever you want to call it. I think the sponsored is probably the right word. Dang Dynasty, hey man, good to see you. Okay, so there's a few sprue marks to clear up on this. You can see them here. This is just where we've snapped it off, so I'm just going to tidy these up if the camera focuses. There you go, you can see. I'm just going to tidy all of these up, and then we'll move on to putting the case together. I'm just using the flush cutters to gently trim away any excess material on these. What set is this from? This is from JTK Tianwen 1. Dang Dynasty, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's all of our parts taken out. Let's show you guys the instructions again. This is so cool that it comes like an IKEA instruction book. And you can see we've got the side with the USB port. We need to put that to the back. And we can tell the back on this two ways. One, we've got more mount points at the front for the front of the PCBs. And two, you can see the slope to it. So it goes to the back. So let's see if we can get this to slide together. There we go. It feels pretty solid. So how these work is they have these little tabs and you have these little sockets on the base. And as you can see, the sockets are wider at one end and thinner at the other end. You put the sockets into the wider end, like so, and then you slide it down to lock it in place. So you can see that they're if I get the light just right, you can see that they're just in the slots, and now we're going to slide it down and push it into place. It's quite stiff, but for something like this, I think the firmer that it needs to be pushed, the better. And there we go. That feels pretty rigid. It's feeling pretty solid. More solid than I was expecting, to be honest. Nooks, hey man, good to see you. I'm glad you're here. So now we've done step 1 and step 2. We've slipped those together. Now we've got step 3 and step 4, and we've got to put the sides on the case, and then we put the USB port in the back. So what we're going to do here is just going to pop this into the gap, and we're just going to slide that in place and make sure it's nice and flush, and that's in. I'm going to repeat that over on the other side, and there we go. That is the case pretty much put together. Next step is step 4, and that's just to put the USB socket in place. Shows you that just there. That just clips in, so we're just going to pop this in place. I'm just going to make sure it's all horizontal as we slide it in. So just going to pop that in, and there we go. Now we have a USB port in there. If the camera focuses, camera please. There we go. So that's the case. That's pretty solid. Like, I wasn't expecting this to feel as solid as it does. That feels pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Nice little logo on the bottom here. Let's put the feet on before we forget. It is USB-C only, yeah. Yeah, I wish I'd go at the Commodore 64 one. So we need 4 of the feet. Put the 5th one back in here. And we'll just put the screws back in here for now as well. It was Buddha doing this on his own, basically to offer a set to the West that wouldn't have been otherwise. Yeah, from what I understand, it was just one guy wanting to make sure that people around the world could get hold of this if they wanted to. A friend of mine, BitShifter, he proxied it for myself and a few other people. So very much thanks to him for arranging that. If it's not for you, Max Feelings, it's not for you. Not everyone needs to enjoy the design language of these boards. I just think this is a great board for the price, and I was just interested to see how these went together. And so far I'm pleasantly surprised. Like, they're significantly better to put together than I thought they would be. Okay, just peel the backing off of these feet. I'm just happy it's not basic bump-ons. For sure, I completely get that, Gio. Okay, last one. And then we can carry on putting the rest of the board together. We'll put the stand together first. Go on, get in the bin. There we go. Price value is simply great. Keycaps, mouse and keyboard for about $120. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I paid for it. Yeah, so there we go. That's the case, all put together, ready to go. We just need to build the PCB and plate and put it in. But before we do that, we're just going to have a look at the stand. I think there's some instructions for the stand here. So we've got the instructions for the stand just there. So we take the 2 sides. This is the inside, that's the outside. We're going to take one of these 2 pieces. We're going to push it into the top here. Fits nice. The tolerances are good on this. Like, I was expecting some parts of this to be loose. Sometimes model kits like this, they have parts that fit together a bit loosely. I've been really surprised by how good this is. This feels pretty damn solid. Everything's got good contact. Okay. And we're just going to slide the front piece on. We would if I had hold of it right. And there we go. So there's the little stand, and then we can put the keyboard on there as well. and that just fits nicely. So that should hold in place. I tilt it back a little bit. It's even got a little bit for a switch, so you can see what switch is in the board as well. Nice little switch holder on the front to see what switch is in the board. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to put that to one side now, and we'll come back to that in a little bit. We'll build the rest of the board, and then we'll put the stickers on the board right at the very end, because there is a whole sticker pack where we can make this board fit the theme a little bit better. The stand is so funny with the switch in the front. It's so you can press the switch and see what's in the board. You've got a switch on the front, you press it, oh, it's tactile, or oh, it's linear, yeah, that feels really nice, or that's not for me. Box Alu version when we can recoil in delight as the pieces of Alu scrape together when putting it together. Can you imagine just as you scrape them in? That's not going to be nice. That's not going to be pleasant, I don't think. Okay, time now then to put the rest of the board together. So those are the switches we're going to be using today. And here is the plate and PCB. And here are our stabilizers. So first things first, we are going to lube our stabilizers. We're going to put these together, lube them, get them screwed into the board. And then once we've done that, we'll start to put the switches in. Then we'll solder it all together, and then we'll get the board put together in its final stages. Once that's done, we'll add the switches, and then we'll move on to build 2, which is the little macro pad. Okay. So we're going to be going with a 6.25U space today, because I don't have many 7U wires left, and I have another build that does need a 7U wire, which is probably going to be my build next week, which is a wing keyless board, a TKL, and it needs a 7U spacebar. So purely because of that, we are going to be using today a 6.25U spacebar, because my shipment of stabilizers has still not arrived at the workshop yet. Lubing the case would be a thing. Even if you did, I still feel like the scrape would not be pleasant. Okay. Too much lube there, so I'm just going to take some off. Remember guys, when lubing, it's always easier to add more lube later on than it is to remove lube, so just make sure you're taking it steady. We're just basically painting it on the wire here. Prototypists should start carrying stabilizers, and then you can buy them from yourself. Yeah, I buy all the stock that I use from the site myself. I don't keep anything for free, that'd be a bit off. But yeah, I did sell stabilizers once. I bought 1,000 sets of stabilizers, and they sold in about 35 minutes. And then I have another order which is about twice the size on the way, but it's been coming for about 5 months now, so I'm not quite sure what's happening with it. It's something I need to chase up actually. But there are other vendors in the UK, such as Optic Boards and Mech Boards, who do sell stabilizers and have them in stock right now as well. So I'll probably pick some up from them in the meantime. Okay, that's our spacebar stabilizer done. And for this board, we're going to have the spacebar stabilizer. We're going to build it ISO, so we need a 2U stabilizer for the ISO enter, and then we're going to use full backspace. But that's it. Everything else is going to be split. So we're going to use split left shift, and we're going to split right shift as well. So we only need 2 more stabilizers. I'm just going to prep these bits first. Jump says, yes, please, to the stabilizers. I think if you need stabilizers in the UK right now, I think Optic Boards has them, because I bought some earlier on today, realizing that I would run out. So yeah, definitely check out Optic Boards if you need stabilizers. That order of stabs was stuck in the Suez Canal. Well, it's supposed to be shipping by train, not by sea. So train shipping to the UK from China is a thing. Still, even with Brexit, it's still a thing. So hopefully they shouldn't take too long. Although some things have started to have to come by sea. some of the larger orders for keyboards and stuff that would have come by rail historically now can't. They have to come by sea. The carriers just can't do them by rail anymore. It's interesting times. Stabs are actually stuck at the bottom of the ocean in a container. Please, sweet, don't joke at that. Don't joke about that. The English rail system's pretty good. Mercy. Like we have rail in a lot more areas than a lot of other countries do. It's pretty good. It's pretty solid. I know we have some issues with commuter trains, but for transport trains, it's pretty solid. Since we used to use transport trains for all of the coal to get them to the power stations that we used to use, well, we still do use some coal power stations here in the UK. Because of that, it had to arrive on time, and they've kind of got the whole process down to a T. It does work really well for pretty much all trade shipments via train. Okay, second stabilizer just about done. This is 205 grade 2 that I'm using, not grade 0, 205 grade 2. Okay, now we need to move on to... I just realised the load of loops at the front there, that shouldn't be there. We're going to move on to the final one. Noah's here as well. Hey Noah, good to see you, my dude. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate that. Full backspace is Bath. There we go. I like full backspace. Full backspace is my jam. Like, if I make a mistake, I want to get angry and press that button hard. I don't want to miss it. Press something else. Glad I could catch a stream finally. Well, thank you very much for being here, Noah. I appreciate it. We haven't caught up in a long time. We should catch up, dude. Let me know how your board's doing, how your board's coming along in development. Because it must be nearly 18 months since I built that board on stream, and I'm kind of excited to own one day. So let me know how it's coming along. For those of you who don't know, Noah was the inspiration behind the Doppelganger board. It was designed by a very, very cool UK designer called Max Cable Car Designs. Board's been in interest check for a little while now, and I'm dead excited to get my hands on one. Tattoo Kiel says, do you have a Pantone book? Yes, I have several Pantone books, depending on what I need them for. I have a lot of Pantone chips as well. RAL chips, RAL codes, lots of stuff like that. As being a vendor in the hobby, it's kind of required to have some of that stuff, or be able to purchase some of the stuff when needed. There we go. That's our stabilizers all lubed up. Now it's time to pop them into the PCB. Would you full backspace a Hyper 7 like a savage, or go split like a true gentleman? I mean, a Hyper 7 has so many 2U caps at the top that it doesn't really matter, right? It just really doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to pop backspace in first. We're going to pop the stabilizer into the PCB, and then we're going to screw it down. And remember, when you're screwing stabilizers in, guys, you're not trying to crush the PCB. All you're trying to do is just hold the stabilizer in. You don't want to over tighten. You're just trying to hold it in place. So when you're screwing, screw until you feel pressure, until you can feel it's made contact, until you feel that resistance, and then just do a quarter turn more. That's all you need, just 1/4 turn. You're not trying to crush the PCB, you're just trying to hold it in place. There we go. Now we're going to pop the ISO enter stabilizer into position. Okay. Roxanne Hendricks says, it's so nice to hear you building this and being so calm whilst I need to calm down my exam nerves, so thanks for the great timing. Oh man, exam. Well, I wish you the best of luck, Roxanne, with the exam, whatever that's in. If you feel comfortable telling us, let us know. I probably can't offer you any advice, but staying calm is the best way to go through any exam. It's a long time since I've had to sit one, I'll be honest. But I wish you the best of luck. Okay, and now we're going to pop in the spacebar as well. Now we're almost done. Noah says December 19, it's now June 21. Yeah, I remembered building it. I thought it was over a year ago. It is 18 months, 19 months ago. Yeah. I believe final protos are currently in menu. Nice, nice. Well, do let me know, dude, when I can buy one, because I'll be very, very excited to pick one of those up. Tato KL says, okay, good. I will message you on Discord about something then. Oh, yeah, sorry, a bit confusing. My Discord name is Biscuit, if you remember me by that. Okay, sure, yeah. If you need it for business reasons, it's better to email me than Discord me sometimes. Just because I do sometimes lose Discord messages. There we go. You can see how this is all going to line up with the plate. So now it's time to put the switches in the board. And let's see how this goes. And you can see the 3D printers going away in the corner, guys, as well. They're going nuts at the minute. Keywalk says, boo, ISO. Hey man, do you want me to build your Macropad or not, dude? Do you want me to build that, or do you want me to just drop it in the bin? I'm just kidding. You know I'll always build it for you. Noah's gone back to a Chinese manufacturer now. I see, I see. I can't remember where the one that I built was from. I think that was from the Chinese manufacturer as well. But I know you were talking with Salvan about doing it there. So because this is a POM plate, guys, I'm just going to go around and put in a few switches, making sure everything's nice and neatly lined up. Just because POM plates can sometimes slip off the keycaps, sorry, off the key switches, and sometimes not align correctly. So I'm just going to put in a few dotted around first, just to make sure we're all fully aligned and everything's meeting out correctly. And these are Lilac linear switches. These were lubed by Matt, the Pokemon Kid, here in the UK. He's a good friend of mine. You may have seen some 3D printing I did for him on his Instagram recently. And he lubed these switches for me just before Christmas. We're going to go with stepped caps lock because everything should have stepped caps lock. Okay. We're just going alternating switches pretty much across the board, just so that we can hold on to the plate assembly in between the switches and just make sure that everything is lining up correctly. And otherwise, we might find that the plate doesn't hold on to the switches correctly and drops down a little bit. So we're just double checking by alternating the switches, and then when we go back through, the switches will hold up in the other areas to make sure everything's going to be fine. Roxanne says, thanks, I'm an optician by trade studying for a contact lens practical exam. Going to try my best. Nice. I used to have contacts quite a lot, but I found that they dried my eyes out, so I stopped using them. I probably haven't worn contacts for about 5 years now, but I used to wear them instead of glasses pretty much every day. But but as I get older, I found that they did dry my eyes out a little bit, so I stopped using them. I went back to glasses. I also found that going back to glasses actually reduced the number of headaches I had as well, which was quite interesting because I didn't realise that the headaches were being caused by anything else. Although my glasses are reactions lenses, so they go dark when it's sun shining outside, and they react to UV and they go dark, which does help with the headaches as well. Also means I don't need to carry shades around with me too. Keywalk says, woo, ISO. He changes his mind pretty quickly there. I see how it is, Keywalk. I see how it is. If we're already in a Discord group chat, then just drop me a message there. It'll be Monday before I respond though, dude. It's Sunday night. After I finish streaming here, I'll be going home and going to bed. So yeah, just bear in mind it might be late on Monday or Tuesday before I get back to you. But yeah, let me know what you need. You still have some of the Socialite? Yes, I still have some of the candy you sent me. Socialite was kind enough to send me 3 packs of candy from where he is in the world, and it's honestly delicious. I've never had anything as good as this. Yeah, the apple was especially good. The apple flavor was especially good. Okay, now we've done this, I'm just going to go through and we're just going to put switches into the gaps that we've left, and then we'll do the bottom row last. Visionaire says, I got some of those cerulean switches this week. They might be the perfect switch for me. Dude, I have a bag of cerulean switches somewhere around. I think I just moved them just before the stream. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of tactiles these days, but if I was going to build something tactile personally, I'd be using cerulean switches. They're so good. Cerulean switches and lavender switches, I think, are my favorite JTK offerings these days. Genuinely really happy with them. Genuinely really happy with them. I can't complain at all. Roxanne says, yeah, it's a common problem, dry eyes, so you're a bit light sensitive, glasses look grainy by the way. Thank you, thank you. I've had these glasses about 2 years now. I should get some more. I am due another eye test. But yeah, I used to get really dry eyes, and I don't think it's light sensitivity as such. It's just sometimes I do get headaches. It doesn't have to be particularly bright, and some days it can be really bright and it doesn't affect me at all. It's just sometimes they do, and since I've got these lenses, the headaches are a little bit less. So I really don't know what causes it. I just know that it may be a correlation, not causation, that the glasses have fixed that. Lux Cables, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Thank you. ISO-less household here, but power to free will and personal preferences. There you go, man. There you go. You can use whatever layout makes you happy. It doesn't have to be ISO. It doesn't have to be ANSI. It doesn't have to be anything anyone tells you is good or bad. You do you, guys. You do you. There's no right or wrong answer in this hobby. The whole point is to have a custom keyboard. Then make it custom to you, right? Don't trust in the silk printing on the bottom row. It is wrong on one side, if I remember correctly, on the right. Yes, this is the prototype BBox60. There will be some revised in-stock ones at some point soon. Bent pin, just fix that. Noah says, I'm also an ISO-less household, although I think I'm going to try and get a Borsdorf once it's shipped. Nice, yes. I have one of the early rounds of the Borsdorf. In fact, I have 2. I gave one away to a friend, Gouty, but I'm a big fan. In fact, you can see it on the wall behind me, just here. That's the Borsdorf. Very, very nice board. Quite a few bent pins on these switches, but nothing we can't overcome. Biz says, they're like ZL1s, the housings are really solid, deep but quiet, springs are acceptable too, not going to lube the stems, just the top and bottom of the housings. Yeah, I think that's fair. I think the springs do need some lube. I don't think any stock spring is good enough for me personally. So yeah, I completely agree with that assessment, but I think as a standard switch, they're pretty damn solid. Like, they come as close to not needing modification out of the box as any switch could do. Okay, so we're going for the full 60 bottom row. We are going to do the whole 1.25, 1.25, 1.25 6U bottom row, 6.25U bottom row. Just need to check here. Now, normally I would go by the printing on the bottom of the PCB, but as Dematech says, it's wrong. So I'm going to get some keycaps, and I'm going to use the keycaps to make sure that we've got everything in the right place. No point in struggling with this kind of stuff if we don't have to. I'm just going to get some 1.25U caps out. If we can get them out. There we go. Now we're going to get a 6.25U spacebar. I think that's that one. I think that's 6.25. Yes. And then we're going to use these to make sure that we've got the whole bottom row lined nicely. We might not use these particular keycaps on the build, and we certainly won't use them in the positions because I'm not really going to pay attention to that. But we're just going to use these to make sure we've got everything in the right space. So you can see I put one keycap in here. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put another keycap on a switch, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that into the plate and PCB assembly where it needs to be. And we're just going to use the key switches and the keycaps to guide us where everything needs to be so it lines up correctly. So there we go, we can see that that's how that goes. See, we've got the space bar in there. You can see we're just basically using the edges of the keycaps to confirm where the switches need to be in the plate assembly. And that means that we don't have to worry about the legends being wrong on the base of the PCB, because it does document where they should be, but apparently it is wrong in some places. And then we've just got to the far side, we're just going to steal that one, and we're just going to use this one to get the last one in place. And there we go. Now we know where all of the keycaps and switches need to be on our bottom row. We're going to gently remove the keycaps, make sure the switches remain in place, or pop them back in if they come out. There we go. Now we can put them back into the case of keycaps. And we now know that we've got the switches in the correct place when it comes time to solder. Okay. Put that back in there. Put that back in there as well. And we'll come back to the switch, the keycaps later on when we need them. Max Phelan says, I really want to try US ISO someday. Do it, dude. Do it. Absolutely try it. It's not a bad layout at all. Owen says, so Jay, is it someone specific that I had to ask you to do a giveaway nicely, or can anyone ask? Anyone can ask. I do have a giveaway. I do have a giveaway. I'm going to give away something later on the stream. Now that someone has asked, there will be a giveaway towards the end of the stream. When we take the intermission between the first build and the second build, I'll nip away and grab another drink, whatever else I need to do. When I come back, I'll give you details of what we're going to give away. I have a prize just lined up in the workshop. Keywork says, I was about to say I'd love a board in the layout of the top right behind you. Which one do you mean? Do you mean this one, the grey one? Or do you mean the orange one at the far side? Grey or orange? Let me know. Let me know. This is very sneaky there. Yeah, he found it, and no one else had asked, but he asked, so yeah, we're gonna do it. That's how giveaways work, right? It says there on the instructions, if someone asks nicely, we'll do a giveaway. He asked, so we're gonna do one. There we go. Okay, so now comes the part of the stream, guys, where I'm going to need to solder this together. I'm going to solder this gently. I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can see a little bit more detail. But at the same time, what we do at this point in the stream is you guys can feel free to ask me any question you would like, and I will answer it. All you need to do is tag me with @jprototypist. Ask me any question you like, and as long as it's Twitch safe to answer, and as long as it's not giving you commercially sensitive information, I'll answer it to the best of my ability. So all you need to do is ask away. Let me show you that board first. So this is the Borsdorf. There you go. This is the Borsdorf. It's a 66 key board designed to take advantage of the original Apple Mac keycaps from the AEK range. There you go. You can see the board there. This was machined and cerakoted by Salvan, and it's got that wonderful curve to it. There you go. That's the Founders Edition on the base, and this has Brown Alps in. It's one of my favorite boards. Love that. Okay, so time to solder. Soldering on a brand new desk mat. Hey, it is what it is. It's fine. It is what it is. Where's the solder? There it is. Zaki says, I was going to drive to Aldi and get some fake Pepsi, but now I have to stay knocking about. Oh well. Oh well. The enter key, whoa. Yeah, it's a great board is the oop, nearly dropped the solder iron then. It's a great board. It's a Borsdorf. You should definitely check it out. Yeah, so don't forget to tag me, guys, and ask any question you would like. It can be keyboard related, it can be life related, it can be related to business, it can be relationships, it can be related to drinks, you name it. I will try and answer it to the best of my ability and as honestly and as openly as I can. Just ask away, and as long as it's Twitch safe, I'll answer it for you. So Keywalk says, first question, margarita or mojito? I'm going to go with mojito. I don't dislike a margarita, but I love mint. Mint flavored things are amazing. So I'm going to pick a mojito any day of the week there. Mojitos, plenty of ice on a sunny day. What's not to love? Definitely mojitos. I have a fly on the desk. Go away, fly. Noah says apricot or elderberry jam. Oh man. So I think this is this isn't an either or. This depends, right? If I'm baking a cake, which I do occasionally do, and I'm putting 2 layers of a Victoria sponge together, and I'm not using strawberry jam, I'm going to use apricot jam because it goes really, really, really well. If I was using it for something else, say to put in some rice pudding or to put in the bottom of a bun or something like that, I would probably go for elderberry. Elderberry muffins are amazing. If you haven't tried them, try them, make them. I've got a good recipe if anyone wants it. But elderberry muffins are a fantastic thing. Roxanne says cats or dogs. I'm a dog person. I've always had dogs. I did used to have 2 cats with an ex. She still has them as far as I'm aware, but I've always been a dog person. I love dogs. I have a little dog. You may have seen Workshop Dog on my Insta stories quite often. Yeah, dogs. Definitely a dog person. Like, yeah, definitely a dog person. Excited for Battlefield 2042? Do you know what? I haven't really looked at it much, so I'm going to say no. I wish I had more time to play video games. I absolutely adore playing video games. I just don't have the time these days. I tend to work about 19 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then a couple of hours streaming on a Sunday night. So my spare time is spent with the wife, with the dog. I really don't get to play video games as much as I'd like to. I've probably played less than 50 hours in the past 6 months of video games, which is a real shame. I wish I could spend more time on them. Okay. Next question comes from Keywalk. He says, if you come visit, I have the best mojito place I've ever been to. That sounds good. We can definitely do that. I will definitely come and visit you at some point, and we will definitely go for mojitos or whatever you want to drink. That sounds like a good idea. I like that. Second question, he says, also, when you stare into the void, what stares back? Oh, man. Okay, so this is a bit of a deep question, but I'll be completely open and honest with you. I'm the type of person who lives in my failures sometimes, and when... Ariki, thank you so much for the follow, man. Thank you. And CLLCT as well. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. I appreciate that. So I live in my failures sometimes, and sometimes my biggest fear when I stare into that void is my own failures and my own shortcomings just being there. Like cringeworthy moments in my life that I know I should have done something slightly different, or I could have done something slightly different. Things that actually have no consequential value to my life or interactions with people or anything like that, but they come back and they haunt me, and I just feel so cringy about them. And I do a lot of self-reflection about them. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know, but I do. An example is when I was about 7 or 8, I was at my aunt and uncle's house and they were having dinner, and my mum was late picking me up, so I just sat down at the table and ate my uncle's dinner. And just like little things like that make me feel so cringeworthy. Like it just tears me up inside sometimes. It's little things like that, but there's hundreds of examples that everyone has in their lifetime. And when I stare into the void, that's what I see. My little failures that have no consequential meaning on anyone or even my own life. Yeah, it's not the big things, it's the little things. It's the little things. Iwane says, have you ever played the Suikoden RPG games? I haven't. No, I haven't. Trade Splatter says, how much of Thingiverse do you have left to print? I print a lot, but I don't tend to really print things from Thingiverse. I tend to just make my own files. There are quite a few things I've printed from Thingiverse, I'm not going to lie. Like a lot of the print in place stuff, I'm not smart enough to make. So I do print a lot of that based on Thingiverse files. But a lot of the things that are practical that I need, I tend to just make them myself, or replicate them, or bust out Fusion and come up with something, or get James AKB to do it. He's done a few bits for me that we've 3D printed. But I 3D print a lot. I probably go through 10 to 15 rolls of filament a month, and I'm probably printing pretty much 24 hours a day, 6 days a week, I would imagine the printers are going. Yeah, I'm really excited to actually build up my next 3D printer. It's in the workshop. I just haven't had a chance to build it up yet. I've had it about 3 months, and it's one of the Creality mills, so you print onto a conveyor belt. And I will do a stream once my back's better fully, where I'm able to lift it, where I'll put that together on stream and we'll set it all up. We'll do a workshop stream where I get that set up and ready to use and ready to rock. Any upcoming group buys you're hyped for in any way? Yes, the SEMO FE edition. I'm incredibly hyped for that. I joined on West Foxtrot's Angel group buy a little while ago. I'm really excited for that to ship. On a personal level, I'm really excited for a lot of Gion Works' stuff that's coming up. So Gion has some of the best designs for the best money, and I think my favorite TKL of all time is the F1ATEX, which is just here in the corner. I have 7 of them now, 6 or 7 of them now, and I'm a huge fan. As well as that, I'm also excited to get the Dolphin TKL from Linworks, and my Heine TKL1 should be shipping as well pretty soon. So yeah. Oh, the FC65 should be shipping as well. I think the FC65 shipping. I'm really interested to see how that turned out. I saw the prototype in Seattle at the Seattle meetup a couple of years ago, literally 2 years ago, and 2 years ago next month, and I've been waiting for it ever since, so I'm really excited to get that in as well. There's all sorts of stuff coming, I've got some group buys coming up that I'm really excited to run. The JO2 Blackout edition is coming soon. More details soon.com. We've also got the BBTKL coming, the OGR, the Argyle, the Ayla, and hopefully a few more boards as well. That's probably all I can share at the minute. Okay, let's see the next question. Yes, thank you. Dogs are the best. Cats are cute, but I'm biased. That's fine. Yeah, people are biased. Iwone says you're retired. That what is this working /s? Dude, I do more work now I'm retired than I did when I was not retired, and that is no joke. It's bizarre how that's happened. But yeah, I am officially legally retired now. I'm a retired volunteer managing director because I don't get paid for doing prototypist. I don't pay myself a salary. I don't take any money out of the business at all. So therefore, I'm technically a volunteer, and I am officially retired. Demotex says, did you find out what are those bread emotes on your Discord server? No, I don't think I did. If I did, I've forgotten. Or perhaps I didn't pay attention, but I don't really know what they are, no. But they keep appearing. But if that makes people happy, that makes people happy. Keywork says, I found putting things like that into my mental fuck it bucket really helped me mentally. Also, no one can blame me for eating an unattended dinner. Yeah, let's give it a good home. Absolutely. I mean, like, this is just one example. There's loads of examples through my life. Like, there's an example where I must have been about 15 and I was walking home, and it was about 8 miles that I had to walk home, and it was the middle of the night, and the last bus of the night came past, and I just happened to be right near the bus stop, so I stuck up my arm, realized I didn't have any money on me, and then I felt awful having to get off the bus and carry on my walk, and I stopped that poor bus driver who was on their last run of the night for no reason whatsoever. I can still remember the look on her face, and yeah, she just looked to say, what is he doing? What is he doing with his life? Yeah. Little things like that. They just dig at me sometimes. Did your Jane V2CE ship or your last batch gang? No, I've had mine about a year now. I think I built it on stream about a year ago. I think something like that. I'd have eaten that dinner too. You know the Snickers commercial? Yeah, I'm one of the people that get cranky. Don't beat yourself up, though I understand I'm the same way. Yeah, I think a lot of people do the same sort of thing, and it's not that I'm beating myself up about it. I just cringe when I think about it. I think, oh, why did I do that? Like, what made me do that? Why aren't I a better person? But it's fine. It's fine. Like, the big stuff I don't really sweat. Like, everyone makes mistakes, and that's just a fact of life. The big stuff I never really sweat. It's always the little stuff that gets me. Hangry. Yes. Yes. The board is lovely, Noah. Yeah, I wish everyone's had shipped. Sadly, they haven't. But I wish everyone's had shipped. Mine is built with vintage browns. If you can call them vintage. 1994 browns, anyway. Some people would say it's not vintage. Some people will say they are vintage. I don't really care. There we go. That's our soldering all done. Gio says, I once went out for food and found out after eating the bank had fucked up my card replacement and skipped a revision number. Oh no. So my card came in hand and did not work until the new one came in. Rip. Rip. Dude. I've done that a few times where I've gone to the petrol station and I forgot my wallet, and this is before like contactless was a thing or Apple Pay was a thing, and I had to leave my mobile phone there while I went home and got my bank card and got cash and then came back. Yeah. Oh, that's so good. That's really good. Okay, so now we've sold it. It's time to put some keycaps on the board and get it all put together. So I'm going to zoom the camera back out a little bit. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and position this in the base first, and then once it's in, I'm going to screw that down. And then once this is all screwed together, then we'll get some keycaps on here. Oh, hang on, wait a second. Wait a second. That's not screwing in. Do we need to use standoffs here? Interesting. Are these screws not quite long enough? What's occurring here? What's occurring? It would help if I didn't get the screw lost in the base of this. Okay, we will get this in place. There we go. There we go. If you look up angry in the dictionary, there would be a picture of my fiance Alicia. She's next to me. Say hi to Alicia for me. It's ages since I've seen her, so I hope she's doing well. Oh my god, why am I missing this every single time? If only these screws are magnetic. Right, let's get one of the other ones in place. Like, I'm pretty sure that some of these should screw in, but it feels like maybe it needs a standoff in place. Let's have a look. Okay, let's try again. Let's try again. I think we can get these. There we go. That's one in. That's one. Okay, so we're held in position. We're held in position. Let's try and get the rest of these in. Okay, there we go. We're on the right path now, guys. We're on the right path. Okay, just the two difficult ones to do now, and then we're done. Then we can put some keycaps on. There we go. That's out. Oh man, these ones are just in the wrong position to get them in nicely. There we go. That's one. Last one. Last one. And this is one that's going to be my bane because of just because of where it is. Yeah. Come on out. There is a screw now loose in the bottom of this case. Let's take off the side. Do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take off the side because then I'll be able to get into the screw. There we go. So now we've taken off the side, we can get into the screw that we need to get into. And there we go. Now it's all screwed together. Now we'll just pop the side back on. There we go. All screwed together. It took us a minute, but we got there, guys. We got there. Okay, let's catch up with chat. Tatur KL says, you don't make any money off prototypists. I did not know. How does that work though? Do you just invest everything back into the business? Yeah, so I don't make a penny off of prototypists. I do not pay myself a salary. I do not take a dividend. I am just a volunteer for the company. I am technically a volunteer, making £0, 0 pence profit personally. The company makes money, as it does, and then all of that money gets reinvested into other projects. That could be buying extras, that could be helping people pay for prototypes because they can't afford to pay for them themselves, no strings attached, or it could be running some other projects or programs, enabling us to run our own keyboards, such as the BBTKL, which is upcoming. The money gets reinvested in a load of different ways. And what people don't realize is the cost of running a group buy, plus the cost of paying designer royalties, plus the cost of extras, the cost of all of those put together is more than the revenue any group buy brings in. Most group buys don't break even until after the extras ship, like, because there's just that much cash invested. So I've invested probably about, well, somewhere north of £500,000 of my own personal money into Prototypist, but I haven't taken a penny back out of it. Not a penny of the money I've put in has come back to me as yet. At some point that money will come back to me, but there is no salary or dividends. It's just the company paying back what it owes me effectively at that point. Interesting. Your retirement fund must be huge. I did all right. I did okay. I did well. I worked at the bank for a long time, and I did reasonably well salary wise. Okay, time now to put some keycaps on the board. So we're going to need this tray. We're going to need all 3 trays actually. So let's get them all out. Kindion says, "Hey Jay, how you doing?" I'm doing well, man. Thanks for being here. Does the USB port line up? Yes. Just ish. Like, as long as I push it, it'll fit. It's going to be impossible to show you in there, but just ish, a little. It's slightly out, but it'll be fine. How do I evade tax? I don't evade tax. I pay all of my taxes 100% of the time. So I'm just going to put the UK ISO keys on here first, and then they're all in place. Go. I don't think I need anything else out of there. Oh, we need the short left shift. I do need another key up here. I'm telling a complete fabrication. Okay, don't think I need anything else out of there now. Unless that shift key is the 1.75 here, which it's not, so we're good. Okay, so we're good. We don't need anything else out of that, so we can put that one back to one side. Okay. Now we'll just take the few keys out of here that we need. We need the short shift for the right hand side. We need the ISO enter, and I'm going to go for the orange ISO enter because why not? And then we need the control key. We need a super key. We're going to need that and a code key. Let's put code over here as well. Then we're going to need a control key. And we just need our 2 alts. Also need an FN key for just here. Where are the alt keys? Is there no alt keys? Oh, it wants to do code instead of alt. I see how it is. Okay, we can go with that. Interesting that there's no alt keys. Very interesting that there's no alt keys. Okay, we've got that in place. I'm going to go for the white spacebar just because I think it looks a little bit nicer. For the escape key, I'm going to go for the CMSA 2020 cap. This is a really cool triple shot cap. How nice is that? It's a really nice cap. Okay, let's put the rest of the keycaps in now. I see you, baby, shaking that board. Yeah, there was a screw just dropped in the bottom of the case. I had to shake it out. We got it sorted. We got it sorted. Shake it, baby, shake it. The genius if the case design has been revealed. Oh yeah, taking the side off to get the screw in. Yeah. It just occurred to me that that was absolutely a thing. Does Prototypist at least buy the beers? No, I don't buy alcohol through Prototypist. Like, Prototypist does buy stock for the cafeteria, kitchen areas, Geo mentions. Like, it pays for coffee and things like that. Like, that's fine, it's needed. It'd be a bit unfair if I didn't do that, but yeah. My wife thinks the same about the kitchen. Orange, you glad you built it ISO? Yeah, man. Yeah, this looks great. This looks great already. I'm really happy already with this. We've got this really super cool Tianwen 1 backspace key. Wait, what's stopping that? Hold on. Hold on, hold on. This isn't returning. Let's see if we can pop this off. Let's see if we can diagnose why this keycap is not returning. Doesn't seem to be the stab. Is it getting stuck on the case? Oh, interesting. It's rubbing on the case. Okay, so interesting. The case has actually got a slight gap at this side and no gap at that side. Interesting. So it actually needs to move over that way by a fraction. So what we'll do actually before we go any further is I'll just pop off some of the keycaps that are going to block this before we build it too much. And we'll take both sides off and we'll see if we can't fix this. Because you've got to love being able to fix stuff like this. Triple shot novelties or something else? Oh yeah, we finished the soldering, I'm afraid. Yeah, we're just about to just fix the positioning of the board a little bit. So I'm not going to take these screws out. I'm just going to undo them a fraction. And see if we can slide the board across. Just enough that the there we go. So now if we tighten it down in that position there we go. So we should have moved it just over enough now that it doesn't catch anymore. Let's pop that side back on and see. All fixed, all fixed. I think the just due to the fact that it's a injection molded case, there is going to be some slight tolerance issues. We just have to accept that. It's just one of those things. For the price, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter a tiny bit. Keywork says, "Are you a fan of Taylor Swift? Because you really seem to shake it off." I don't know what that's referring to, so I'm going to assume that I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. True, as a volunteer, you'd be quite rude not to feed and hydrate yourself. Yeah, like water, coffee, chocolate bars are always in the fridge. I don't buy lunch or anything through Prototypist. I think that'd be a bit rude, but yeah, there's a few things there. It's because it's broken in 2 uses, Noah. Yeah, okay, whatever. Yeah, you'll be able to rewatch the VOD on Twitch, or you'll be able to watch it on YouTube in the coming days. I don't really know who Taylor Swift is. Like, I know she's a singer, but I couldn't tell you what she's sung. I assume that that's something of her lyrics. Like, I'm not into Taylor Swift, I'm afraid. I know of her, but I don't think I'd be able to. I don't think I could describe her, and I don't think I could pick her out in a picture. So just looking at these caps here as well, one thing I do want to say is I am kind of impressed by how much JTK has come along over the past few years. The last JTK set I bought was very, very different to this and didn't kind of fit as nicely as this does. That being said, I am noticing some problems with this. And I'll show you guys this in a second with the keycaps on. But some of the legends on some of the caps don't look quite right. They don't look like they're quite the right thickness. There's not many of them, but there's just a couple that just jump out and make me slightly worry about them. I'll show you those in a second, guys. let's get the caps on, and then I'll show you that. Then we'll put the stickers on, and then once we've done that, we'll do a little quick sound test, and then we'll build the Macropad. Oh, we've got to do the giveaway as well. We've got the giveaway coming as well, guys. Don't forget that. Don't let me forget to do the giveaway. And there we go. So there we go, guys. That's the Tianwen 1 JTK keycap set on the BBox60 with Lilac switches. A couple of things on the key. So a couple of things on the actual case. There's a little less of a gap here than there is on this side, but the PCB can't go that way anymore. So that's one tiny thing that's bothering me. The top gap and the bottom gap, they look pretty much okay. Nothing's binding, nothing's catching. They look pretty good. In terms of the keycaps, the legend on the R is slightly thinner than the E and the T around it, and the legend on the D as well is slightly thinner. All the other caps look pretty good. The L is also slightly thinner as well, but just the thickness of the characters on here, it's just very noticeable on the R that it's not quite as thick. Other than that, I can't spot any issues with it, and the triple shotting is really good. Like, the triple shotting is really good. Like, this is a triple shot keycap, 3 colors, and it looks really good. It's very well done. Looks good, right? Okay, now it's time to make it look even better. Oh, we need to put a switch in here, look. Let's get one. Let's get a switch. Let's get a switch and a keycap. Let's put a switch in there. There we go. Now we've got a switch, so we always know what switches we've got on this board. And let's put one of the 1U novelty keycaps on there. I'm going to use one of the ones that's R4, one of the R4 novelties. And the reason I'm going to do that is because it's going to be angled. So I want the keycap not to be pointing away. Like if we used a row 1, it would actually be pointing and sloping slightly down. But I want it to slope slightly upwards so it's easy to press. So I'm going to use one of the R4 novelties, which has got this cute little triple shot rocket on. So I'm going to use that. And then it's going to be pressable. See how it's slanted that way? So if this is flat on the surface, it's going to be always slanted upwards. It's going to be a nice, easy key to press. Yeah. Okay. Now we've remembered to go back and do that. Let's well, let's not ruin the keycaps. There we go. Let's take a look at putting some of these stickers on here. The board looks cute. I'm super happy with it. Can't unsee those legends. Yeah, I mean, but for $120 and you get the board, the keycaps, the stickers, you get everything. I think that's pretty good, right? But you can't be upset at that pricing. Okay, so we've got quite a few stickers that we can use here. Let me lay them out so you guys can see them. And I guess there's no right or wrong with this. We can stick whatever stickers we like, anywhere we like. Oh man, there's some good stickers here. Okay, so there's some really good stickers here. Let's put something on the base first of all. I think it needs something in the center that just kind of says this is what the board's all about. So I'm going to go for the big one in the center. I'm going to try and angle it just like this one is on the desk mat. So let's do this on the base first. Keyboard customization at its finest. Good old stickers. Why can I not peel this off? Whoops. 120 for the board and the caps, yeah, and the desk mat. So that's at an angle just about there. Is that going to be centered? No, it needs to move across a little bit. Just going to go there. That looks centered. I feel like it needs to go just this way a touch. I think that's pretty good. Let's go for that. I don't want to go too nuts on this one. I think I'd like to put one on the rear of the case, just along here. And I'm probably going to go for the whole Mars Tianwen one. I'm going to just stick that somewhere around here. I don't want to put too many stickers on it. I'd like to keep it relatively simple. So I'm just going to try and lay that flat just there. There we go. There's a little screw inside. There's one screw just inside. I need to get that screw out. I haven't done it yet. The great thing is a stand. Yeah, it comes with a little stand as well. And the little stand has a little switch in it. So you know what switch is in the keyboard. It's just one of the little screws that I dropped in the case that hasn't come out yet. I'll get it out later on. Okay, and then on the front, I think I'm just going to go with one little rocket just in the corner here, just by the ISO enter. Maybe a touch up top, just a little rocket there. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm just going to put him just there. And there we go, guys. Some nice accented stickers. Just looks pretty cool, right? So there we go. That is the Tianwen 1 box 60 with JTK Tianwen 1, Lilac switches, and Duroc stabs. Should we do a little mini sound test, see how it sounds, and then we'll take a really, really quick break. And while we're taking a break, I'll go grab a drink. You guys can go get a drink and take a break too. And then when we come back, we'll do a giveaway, and I'll build the little macro pad that we've got for Keywalk. But let's do a little sound test first of all. Let's pause the music. Okay, let me drop the mic down a little bit, and let's see how this sounds. Okay, so I'm kind of honestly surprised that that sounds as good as it does. I was expecting it to sound terrible, but it sounds pretty solid. It sounds pretty nice. Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I apologize for my typing, guys. I'm not the best typer in the world. I'm too old to learn new tricks, but I'm pretty happy with how this has come out. It sounds pretty good. The plate's POM, so it's a POM plate. I made it myself just before the stream. It took me about 10 minutes, but I made it myself just before the stream. Yeah, like, that's way better than I was expecting it to be. Like, genuinely, way better than I was expecting it to be. I'm very, very happy with that. Okay. Okay, guys, so let's take a quick 2-minute break. I'm going to go away, grab another drink, because that one's getting a bit warm now. I'm going to pop that in the fridge, get another cold drink. And then when I come back, what we will do is we will build the second macro pad, but we'll do a giveaway as well. I do have a prize for the giveaway. I'll show you guys what that is in just a few minutes. And then once we've done the giveaway, then we'll build a little macro pad, and then we'll call it a night. How does that sound? Is that okay? I'll be back in less than a minute, guys. See you soon. Okay guys, I'm back. I told you I'd be about a minute, and hopefully I wasn't much more than that. I do have another cold drink, soft drink this time. Can't have any more alcohol because I have to drive home from the workshop. So just a soft drink for now. I do have giveaway items. I'm going to put this on display here. Look. There we go. Just going to put that just there up against my monitor. Nice. That looks really good. I'm really happy with that board. Really happy with it. Okay. So we do have a little giveaway. You can see I'm getting really hot. It's really, really warm in here. So I just checked the temperature as well while I nipped out. It's 36 degrees Celsius in this room right now. I have a fan on underneath the desk blowing at my legs, but it's so warm in here. It's 36 degrees Celsius. So I apologize because it's really, really warm, and I'm not the slimmest of guys. So yeah. Zakia says, so mad that I can't afford Cam Little Dragon. I'm so sorry. There will be extras, so please don't fret. There will be extras. Damn, that's toasty. It's really, really warm today. Like, it's been 25, 26 degrees outside, and in the workshop it's steel roofed, and the breeze block walls, so it gets really warm because it's all painted in here, and it gets really warm in the workshop. It's like a greenhouse, and then it comes into the office space as well. So the door's open. And I have got a fan that's blowing underneath the desk. So underneath here, it's just behind the desk here on the floor, blowing underneath. But it's still really, really warm. It's still really, really warm, like, unbelievably warm. Like, this is why I'm rosy cheeked and slightly glistening. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But I do have some giveaway stuff, so we'll talk about that in a second. And we're going to do it just to give away in chat, so I'll get that ready actually. I'm just going to do it in chat. Anyone who's active keyword user or something like that, that's what we'll do. If you are a subscriber, you will get an extra vote, so you will have a little bit more luck if you are a subscriber. I'll just be completely honest about that. So if you're a sub, you get a bit more luck at winning the prize. There's 47 viewers, so you've got a fairly good chance anyway. But if you are a sub, you do have a little bit more luck added as well. Now, Apostrophe, thank you so much for the Prime sub. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Sounds like hell. It's really warm in here. I will be happy when we're done soldering and I can go home. Yeah. You need to install some evac fans that exhaust the air out, and then it will suck cooler air in. You can buy some good ones for pretty sparse. Yeah, I could do, but for the fact that we only get like 5 days of decent weather here in the UK every year, it doesn't really feel like it's a worthwhile investment. Like I have a fan on. I do have an industrial fan as well, which keeps air moving, but as soon as I turn that on, you won't hear me talk. You'll just hear the fan. You'll just and so it's fine for the workshop during the day, but it's not good for streaming. So yeah. It's really cool up in Cumbria. Didn't realise everyone was getting free sun further south. Yeah, I'm not that much further south. I'm in West Yorkshire, so it's not that much further south. But yeah, it's pretty warm here today. Okay, so let's flick over to the camera and I'll show you guys. It's 2 prizes for the giveaway. 2 prizes for the giveaway. It's 1 giveaway, but 2 prizes. So the winner gets 2 prizes. Let's flick over and I'll show you guys what we've got. The first prize is a Wook titanium switch puller. So this is a black Wook titanium switch puller. This is designed for pulling switches out of plates and PCB assemblies. It's made of titanium, if the camera focuses on it. It's black. There you go, that's the first prize. You get both of these prizes if you win. Doesn't matter where you are in the world, I'll sell it, I'll send it to you, I'll ship it to you for free. The second prize is a desk mat. And this is a pretty fun desk mat. If you like vintage stuff, retro wave stuff, you're probably going to like this. These are for sale on the website as well, so if you do like them and you don't win, you can purchase one. But how cool is this? Outrun themed desk mat. How cool is that? Nice and thick, 4mm thick, fully printed, stitched edges. That will be the second prize today. So whoever wins the giveaway will win both of these prizes. They will win both the desk mat and the switch puller. Mogonja, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. You get the desk mat and the switch puller. You get both of them. People who are subbed do get more luck on this. I'll be honest. I'll keep it completely open and honest with you guys. If you are subbed, you do have a little bit more luck than people who are just following or chatting. You will need to type a giveaway. This is not a Mito desk pad. No, I know what you're doing, but no. This is from SwitchKeys. SwitchKeys designed this directly, and I bought a load of these for stock. There we go. That looks a little bit rude, but I'm just putting the cover on the desk mat. I know you were just joking. I know where you were going with it. I know where you were going with it. Look, I've messed this up now. Messed this up. Oh, what am I doing? It's too warm for me to struggle with something like this. Like, come on. Please, just behave, Deskman. Just behave. Oh, behave. Right, okay. It's pretty much done. There we go. There we go. That's the desk mat. You get the Wook switch puller as well. Like, I'm going to fold this up. You get the switch puller as well. The switch puller is going to go down in the center. There we go. So this is what you get. You get both of these items if you win the giveaway. Okay. If you're a subscriber, you have more luck. If you're not a subscriber, you have a little bit less luck, but you still are in with a chance. We're going to do this through a keyword. And all you need to do is enter the word giveaway in chat. I will copy and paste that so you can see what you need to enter. And you've got about 4 or 5 minutes. All you need to do is put that word into chat, giveaway, and you could win this. Free postage worldwide, doesn't matter where you are, I will send it to you. All you need to do is type in the word giveaway into chat. Simple as that. Marthake's there. He's the only one there so far. But there we go. Just type the word giveaway in, and we'll give it away in a few minutes' time. Whilst you guys are typing that in, I'm going to get the little macro pad ready and zoom the camera in a little bit more so I can show you guys what we're working with today. Okay, let's zoom the camera in just a touch. There we go. Okay guys, all you need to do is type giveaway into chat if you want to be in with a chance of winning the desk mat and the switch opener. It's about a £35, I think, ish something. Let's check. What's this prize worth? Let me check. let me check. Let me check on the store, see what this is worth. Yeah, so it's worth £34.50. I don't know what that is in dollars. Let's work that out in dollars. Which is $48, about $50, £35, $50. That's roughly what this prize is worth, plus shipping. There you go. All you need to do is put giveaway into chat, and you may be the winner. We'll roll that in about a minute. Yeah, all you need to do is type that in. In terms of the little Macropad, this is what we're going to be building today. This is really cute. It's got a little details of the Macropad. It says Macropad Type 9, designed and engineered in France by Eric Boudot, and it's got the model number, all rights reserved, and it's called the Treasure Macropad. It's a nice simple little design. I do like the whole thing, just don't like the feet. They're a bit too big for me, but it's cute. It's cute. It's really cute. Simple PCB. We won't talk about how bad the soldering was before I desoldered this. There we go. This is from the original run, Kimchi. This is one of the older ones, not one of the new ones. Okay, let's run that giveaway and let's see who's won it. You've got about 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1. And Roxanne Hendricks, there you are. You are the winner. All you need to do is email me at j@prototypist.net to claim your prize. j@prototypist.net. Send me a whisper saying a certain sentence and send that same sentence in the email, and then I know it's you. And there we go. So Roxanne, all you need to do is just drop me a whisper on Twitch. Send me a sentence, can be anything you like. Use it as your code word. Send that same sentence to me in an email, and I'll respond, and I'll pick up your shipping address, and I'll send this out to you tomorrow. So there you go. Okay, guys, so that's that done. That's the giveaway done. Now it's time to build this little Macropad. Zui, thank you so much for the subscription there with Prime. Thank you so much, man. Thank you. I genuinely appreciate anyone who subs or follows or does anything at all. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to build this little Macropad. It's a 9-key Macropad, and we're going to build it with these. These are lubed H1 switches. These for batch 2, I think. These are from round 2 of the H1s. And this is what we're going to pop in the Macropad today. These are slightly heavier than a standard Cherry MX Black, but they are JWK switches. So yeah, there we go. This is what we're going to build the Macropad with. That's dead simple. We're just going to pop the switches in here. There's no plate needed for this because it's just a Macropad. There's effectively just going to be a plate mount build, a PCB mount build. I'm just going to pop the 9 switches in. No need for us to use blue tack to hold these in, Keybook. And this is a dead simple build. Dead simple build. Tehe built his Tomo prototype with H1. Sound really good. Yeah. Well, you guys, the Tomo is still for sale, so if you still want one, you've not got long left. You've got a few days left. Pick it up while you can. Don't miss it. Okay, almost there putting the switches in. Man, this is such a long build. Such a huge build. Okay. Last switch. And then we're back to soldering, guys. But what that means is, it means again you can ask me any question. The rule is, while I'm soldering, you can ask me any question you like, and I have to answer it as long as it's Twitch safe. I'm not going to beat terms of service. So, yeah, if you have any question to ask me, now's the time to do it, guys. Send that whisper to me. No. All Roxanne needs to do is send a whisper to me on Twitch, and as long as I get a whisper from her and the same message in an email from her, then I know it's her, and we'll go from there. That's all she needs to do. It's just basically a Twitch DM as a whisper. That's all it is. That's all it is. I won't be checking it just now, but if I don't see anything from you in the next couple of days, I'll reach out to you anyway. So remember, guys, you can ask me any question you would like, and I will answer it whilst I'm soldering. So this isn't going to take me long to solder, but if you have any question that you would like to ask me about anything whatsoever, keyboard related or otherwise, I'll be 100% open and honest with you. So get those questions in. Get those questions in whilst you can. Can be about anything at all. Life, love, the universe, math, you name it, I will answer it, as long as it's Twitch safe. Is Lodestone dead? No, Lodestone's on the wall behind me. The orange board on the wall just up here. Well, wait, there. That is Lodestone. That's Lodestone. That's the latest Lodestone prototype. It all works. Everything's good. It'll happen at some point soon. Just need to be patient. Demotex says, why did you build a 60% board with a 6.25U bottom row instead of a 7U bottom row? Because I only have one 7U stabilizer here, and I have a wing keyless board, which I'm going to be building on stream next week. And the wing keyless board has to have a 7U spacebar. So it was limited purely on the fact that I have another build planned for the only remaining 7U spacebar I have. So this one, by default, had to be 6.25. Abracadaniel, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome to the stream, guys. I hope you're doing really, really well. Hope you're enjoying your evenings. We're doing our second build of today. We are currently building a small macropad for Keywalk, who is in chat. Keep Noob, oh hey. Oh hey. Thanks very much for joining. We have an open door policy here, and right now while we're soldering, basically you guys can ask me any question you like, and as long as it's Twitch safe, I will answer it. Whatever I'm soldering, it's an open question policy. What's your opinion on the POM T1 switches? So I think the tactiles are okay, just okay, but I think the linears are pretty solid. Like the linears, once you've lubed them up a little bit, they're a really, really, really solid switch. The tactiles are good, the sunflower ones are good, but I wouldn't class them as good as the ceruleans. I think ceruleans just pip them for me, but they're not POM. They're all nylon. So yeah, but I think they're solid switches. Yeah, I'll have more of the linears in stock later on this year. Zakaria says, thoughts on Boris Johnson and how the UK has done with COVID? Okay, this is a really, really deep question. I think the response was slow to start with. I think that's my first thing I'd like to say. And I'm not going to try and get too political on this, but I think the response was slower than it should have been to start off with. That being said, I think the actual rollout of the vaccines has been exemplary. They've done such a good job vaccinating so many people in such a short period of time. I've already had my first jab. I've got my second jab in a few weeks' time. It's pretty impressive how they've done that. And I know that's not just Boris Johnson, that's his whole team that have been behind it and everything else. But I do think they should have reacted sooner to the whole COVID and the pandemic. I think there will be a lot of lessons learned, and I can't wait to see what the review says, to say how they should have reacted and what should be the future if another pandemic hits us. Because the chances are there is going to be another pandemic that hits us at some point in the future. It's not a zero-sum game here. It's going to happen. We just don't know when. So we should be better prepared for it. Best Asparagus, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, we've got 3 more switches left to solder. Let's do 3 more questions. Guys, I'll solder a switch, I'll answer a question, and then I'll move on to the next switch. Okay, that's 1 switch done. Randall Bolt says, got my second vaccine today and feel pretty rough. Have you had yours yet, and how did you feel after it? I've had my first one. I felt a bit sleepy in the afternoon after it, and I couldn't lift my arm the next day. After that, I was completely fine. So I was good. I was really good. I haven't had my second one yet, but that should be relatively soon. Okay, guys. Anyone else have a question for me? I'll be completely open and honest. It can be about anything, business, finance, what I used to do for a day job. It can be anything at all. I'll answer 2 more questions. First 2 questions in, they'll be the ones that get answered. I'll be completely open and honest with you. Ask anything you'd like. As long as it's Twitch safe and I'm not going to get break terms of service, I will answer the questions. Keith Noob says, I was blessed and didn't have any issues with either dose of the vaccine. That's good to hear. My mother and father-in-law, neither of them had any issues with the vaccine either. They had both and were just fine. Fine and dandy. Sadly, I don't have anyone on my side of the family who is old enough to have had both of them, so I can't say. How do you grow such a glorious beard? Lockdown is the answer to that. I actually grew this twice. So I grew it last year when lockdown started, and then towards the end of May, June time, so about a year ago now, I shaved it all off for charity and went completely back down to no facial hair. And then I regrew it, and now it's, as you see it here, it's nice and full and thick, and I really, really like it. Yeah, I genuinely enjoy having a beard. I always had like a little goatee or something like that or whatever, but now I've got a full beard. I just feel like it suits me, and yeah, I've become the guy that's given up the corporate job, and I've now gone to making stuff in a workshop and grown a beard, and I'm now that guy. That is me. So yeah. Okay, final question then comes from Lord of Sarcasm, and he says, will you be doing JO1 commissions? I really want one. Yes, we are doing JO1 commissions right now. You can email me at j@prototypist.net. That's JAE@prototypist.net. And we're doing JO1 and JO2 commissions. There's been quite a few already bought, and you may have seen on my Insta stories the first JO2 commission actually came in a couple of weeks ago, and we did some laser engraving on it in the workshop, and that was really good fun. So yeah, JO1 and JO2 commissions are a thing, and you can pick one of those up just by emailing me. I say pick up, it's going to take some time to put it together, and to actually have it manufactured. But yeah, you know what I mean. Right. Now I need to find the right screwdriver for the job. Is this the right size for this? Yes. Okay, so now we've put the Macropad together. We're just gonna. Wait, is that the right size? No, it's not the right size. The next one down is. There we go. Oh wait. Hold on. I can't reach very well. Let's have a look and see what we're doing here. Let's get the screwdrivers out, guys, and let's figure out which one we need. Should be this. Again, screws in tight spaces. This is the one thing I'm not good at. I'm absolutely terrible getting screws in tight places. That really doesn't want to fit in there though. That feels like it's slightly too big. I wonder if we have a Torx that will fit it just a little bit better. Yes, that would be yes, but I still can't get it into place. So what I'm going to actually have to do is I'm actually going to have to put the screws in place on this, because there isn't enough room between the screw head and the switches to get the screws in. Man, that's a tight fit. Okay. Let me try using some flesh cutters as tweezers here. We can do this. I'm going to have to put these all in place, like so. Yeah, this is my Weeha collection of screwdrivers. Bring it up here so you guys can see what I'm doing. So what I'm doing is I'm just holding onto the screw, and I'm actually having to bend it under the edge of the switches just to get them into the screw holes. They're so tight. So just using the flush cutters like a pair of tweezers, and just popping the screws in place. Is there a reason you use 205 grade 2 rather than grade 0? Just preference. I think it's a better lube for most things we do in the hobby. It's nice and thicker, so it goes on easier than thin loops. Yeah, I just personally prefer it. It's just a preference thing. Okay, now we've got those in place, we're going to screw these down. There we go. Well, there's some of that blue tack that I told you about. No wonder the screwdriver wouldn't go into the end of the screws. There is blue tack in them. I don't know. Keywok, what were you doing when you built this? Right, now I'm getting the there we go. And that's now all put together. There we go. There we go. That is now the Macropad put together. Should we put some keycaps on it and see how it looks? Let me see what keycaps I've got. Like, I think I've only got the TM1. But let's put the numpad keycaps on for this. And see how it looks. Thank you so much, Gio, for continuing your gift sub. I thoroughly appreciate it, my dude. Thank you very much. Thank you. In fact, actually, let's do something a little bit different. I got some artisans in this week, so let's not put some keycaps on it. Let's put some artisans on there. So these are the ones that came in this week. These are all fulfillment sale Siriuses. So let's just put some of these on here. Picking these at random. But there we go, guys. There is the little Macropad built. It's like a dark grey. It's a really nice color. And there we go. Yuri, carbon, not sure. Ashes, white on black. Deep Navy, Red Samurai, Tarot, and Olivia, I believe. Let's get up close to the camera. The detail on these Siriuses is super cool. Big fan of the sculpt. So there we go. There we go, guys. And there you go, Keywalk. I hope you're happy with that. I'll test that this all works. I don't have a cable for this. This is just an old USB mini cable. I don't have one to hand, so I'll have to dig one out. But there we go. Let's pause the music, and I'll just give you guys a really quick sound test for this. There you go. Silly little sound test for you. But there we go. That's another build completed. There we go. With some nice serious designs. So these literally came in the other day. I'm really happy with them. Really chuffed with them. I will say that I built it in about 5 minutes before running out the door. That's fair. That's fair. I'm only winding you up. Arcana says those look nice. And hey, Arcana, good to see you, my dude. Good to see you. It's valuable Macropad. These are fulfillment sales. So I don't think they're particularly valuable. But there we go, guys. Okay, if you guys have got any final questions, now is the time to ask them. I'm going to start looking for someone to raid on Twitch. If you guys have got any suggestions on who you'd like to see me raid, let me know. Let me know who you'd like to see me raid. Let's see who's. We're getting some volume there. Let's see who's live in Makers and Crafting. Doesn't have to be keyboard related. Could be anything at all. Let's see who else is here. Disastertron is there, so let's do Disastertron. Let me just wait. Am I already a follower? I believe I'm already a follower. Okay, let me set up a raid for Disastertron. I can see that he's live. Okay. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for being here. I thoroughly appreciate all of you and all of your time. But that is the end of the stream. I'll be back next week on Tuesday and Thursday. I'm going to be doing some workshop streams on Tuesday and Thursday nights. So we're going to be doing some laser cutting, we're going to be doing some woodworking, and then on Sunday we'll be building another keyboard, which is a Winkeyless TKL, and that's all I can tell you right now. But thank you so much for watching. Let's go raid Disastertron, and just I want you to be wholesome to him. I want you to tell him that he looks amazing today. Just tell him he looks amazing. Yeah? You guys do that for me? Just tell him he looks amazing? I'm sure you can do it. But thanks very much, guys. Let's go raid Disastertron. Tell him he looks amazing. Tell him he looks super cool. And I'll see you again in a few days' time on Tuesday night. Thanks very much, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.